Right,
I
anyway,
don't think our next game will have Green Day.
gonna have
Lcheeseboy versus
Aestolia.
Aestolia. The 60% win rate. I think the Internet Dirge was talking about how Cheeseboy is like not on people's radar in a way that maybe they should be. Has done really well in just the 2 past mystery tournaments. 28th place. It was kind of a, there was like 100 plus people who entered Mystery Tournament 16. It was probably something like 3-2, 3-2. Maybe 4-2, 2-2. Already off to a great start here in Mystery Tournament 0017. Aestolia has played a lot of matches. I think lost a little bit earlier and dropped down and has been having to win to stay alive. This is only their second mystery tournament. I thought they'd been around longer than that, but they're pretty active in the chat and things. So I guess that's why I just see the name around a lot. But went 1-2 in their first mystery tournament. I can tell you they're already doing better than 1-2 this time around. Maybe even like kind of a lot better. Look at that.
One is like good, you know? It's already above the average of 2-2, and there's potential. There's room to grow.
If Aestolia loses this match, we'll end up with a 50% win rate. And only improves should they win this one. And Cheeseboy's only loss comes to Andy in Togepi's Great Adventure. Which to me doesn't really mean much. I'm like, yeah, you lost to Andy, most people do.
I think I played that.
It's the insane Pokemon rolling game for the Pokemon Mini, which is a video game
it the
console.
Puzzle game where you gotta like switch between characters or something?
No, you just roll Togepi around to the goal.
Oh, that sounds way better. The one I played was this puzzle game. It was like, you know those puzzle games where you move so slow that if you're not moving, you're losing time?
Okay, I can picture it, but I don't know which one you're talking about. Is it a Pokemon game?
I mean, it's on the Pokemon Mini, so probably.
Oh.
I think it uses the egg Pokemon. I don't know what's called.
Didn't think there would ever be more than one raceable game on the Pokemon Mini.
Yeah. Hot new console. NES? Let's do that. Oh. Back to Sonic Spinball.
We also saw Cheeseboy defeat Hectate in Rocket Go, the world's most frustrating lunar lander game. That's not true. I had a lot more trouble with Dropship.
Rocket Go?
Yeah,
also played that. Kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a lunar lander game, but it's 3D and it has a fixed camera.
Oh yeah.
So the things on the outside of the screen are it's hard to tell where you are relative to them. And then it had foreground background issues, and then it had some dark levels.
And like shields where you need the shield in order to get through the electricity, but then hitting there were those ice enemies that would like randomly fly into you, and then you lose the shield.
So it was also revealed, a friend of mine, Anise, said, I once took a course teaching you how to use Unity, where you make that game. You make a lunar lander game, you start on a blue pad, and you're trying to get to a green pad, and I feel like it's a non-zero chance that Rocket Go is just someone's course final project.
They like polish it up a tiny bit and then edit it.
Yeah. And then Lock and Chase was a pretty fun, for a weird arcadey Game Boy game. arcade Game Boy game, where you were chased by weird little cop mice, and you would put barriers down to trap them. Collect all the dots, Pac-Man style.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of Pac-Man. Surprisingly.
Aestolia defeated Dolorous Fred in a pretty long, grindy puzzle game match in Sonic Brilliance. And then was defeated by the Whitley in Dream Hook, a grapple game. Whitley just did really good. Aestolia also did really good, but there was like 2 rooms where Aestolia did very bad, and then that created a huge difference in their times. But everything else was actually pretty close. It was a fairly close race in Stealthscape, a sort of mouse-driven fly a ship around through a maze sort of game. And then I think set like in a blazingly fast blind time in Hammer and Harry. I only came in for the end of that match.
I did see the match. I do know that one player did like pretty much all levels without dying. Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Aestolia won, so I would assume it was them.
Makes sense.
At some point, I rebooted my computer and lost all my tabs, so I'm gonna pull that one up. So Aestolia finished in 23:46. There's a bunch of people who actually speedrun the game who have races logged on here. I mean, 23:46 is a time so far that beats everyone who isn't speedrunning the game, including the likes of GFM, Zenic Reverie, Some Girl on the Internet, Salmon Buffalo. It's slightly faster than 90 Full of Lizards. Only topped by the likes of Crankdud, Andy, Ness Kamikaze, Captain Drake. Would have been very close to Captain Drake. Beat Chewcat, Boney. Beat Blecky. You can beat Blecky in anything. Let alone by 7 minutes. That's something you can be proud of. So apparently is an absolute killer at NES platformers. That's not what they have today, though.
Yeah. I can reveal the game. I have a game that people will really like. People are crazy about this game. Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart. We played this in Racing Grand Prix. I think that game had one of the biggest turnouts. We also played this in Unfest. Now we're playing it here. It was also in Netplay Tourney. This game is everywhere.
So they've chosen different characters.
No,
I feel like the characters actually have different properties.
They have to pick Knuckles.
Okay. Alright, Aestolia being told to pick Knuckles by the moderator. Yeah, the characters are different, and it's impossible to know what kind of character would be good in any given game, let alone good for you in a blind race.
It's like this two-dimensional chart with like weight versus agility and speed versus acceleration, and who knows which part is good. So I think it's very good that we have a fixed character choice.
Yeah. Although it looks like you can choose your color. So we got Pumpkin versus Pastel. So Sonic Robo Blast 2 is a Sonic game made in the Doom engine.
Yeah.
And Doom Guy runs so fast and has such smooth movement, it's actually a weirdly good fit. And then this is a kart racing game sort of spun off of that spin-off.
The mod over mod.
Yeah. And it's pretty fun. And it's really weird. If you know Doom the way that I know Doom, having spent hundreds of hours and made my own levels and stuff in Doom, as they drive around, I can just look at it and be like, this is a Doom level. This is like, I can just see it. The way that you'll see the geometry, there will never be anything floating in midair. There will never be like a lip or something. poking out of something in the middle. Like every lip will always be on a ceiling or on a floor. You can never have anything overhang anything else in the level design.
I played a combat once which turned into like Super Mario 64. It's crazy.
Whoa. Yeah, that one, that if someone did that, it would definitely not be in standard Doom format. It would be one of the fancy ones that has all kinds of
The source
3D stuff. Yeah. Well, it's to get very technical on you all of a sudden in the moments before this race starts. There's different like I don't even know the term for it really. There's like it's almost like engines or something that people have made. Map formats is what it ends up being. So you can have a regular Doom format or Boom format, which has some extra stuff that it can do, but is mostly still the same as Doom. And then UDMF is where it gets crazy. And you can do 3D objects and all kinds of fancy scripts and stuff. I think this is mostly faithful. Like, it's not Boom, but I don't think it's doing anything all that wild, really.
Aestolia stream is stuck. No, just...
Whose audio? We have Aestolia's audio, so it's playing. It's just the
that's why I
visual
know
on
it's
the
stuck.
stream. Okay. Well, we can see the Lcheeseboy.
Who's ahead based on the...
Based off the visuals on screen? Yes.
Well, no, based on the audio. I think Lcheeseboy is like turns behind.
We're gonna see lap 1 here.
It's gonna be like 3 seconds.
Still waiting to hear like a lap there.
There's the lap.
Okay. So a small lead for Lcheeseboy. Again, stream delay though, hard to tell. As also an additional factor. So it's a kart racer. There's, drifting is important.
There's a lot of shortcuts. I know that. Like in this one, you can like jump over the water.
There are, I think, only speed boosters as the item you can pick up. Oh, and they don't respawn. Lcheeseboy took the same line and drove through the gap.
Oh, really? They don't?
Yeah.
So weird.
I mean, in Mario Kart, there are no items. You just get the 3 mushrooms and then that's it.
Yeah. But here, you can drive on the right, like a tractor.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Where that ice block is. Also, I can see that this game is cheating, because it does have, well, it looks like it's cheating. It does have like an overhanging bit of geometry, but actually it's like an invisible ceiling that comes down a little bit.
That's so. Where's out of first track?
No chance against me.
No chance again. Aestolia
Is that
also.
Knuckles talking?
Yeah, probably.
Weird. Is that even what he sounds like? I
Aestolia
thought he was more
is
of like a
not-
jock.
I think Aestolia twice now. It's not showing the game. This is an issue.
It's just gonna be like this, I guess.
I mean, we can kind of hear what's going on, but I don't know if this is good enough from like a fair play sense. Lcheeseboy's playing well. Taking these drifts.
Using the speed boost to
Yeah,
get out of that
the
bad
good-
situation.
I mean, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's not.
Hey, Roar.
Hey, so yeah, is Aestolia just not responding to pings or anything also?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is invalidated if they can't get their screen up. This is definitely on them for knowing the thing. The question was stated, is it legal or fair? And I think I'm gonna have to put my modness down and say this is definitely a no-go if Aestolia doesn't get the screen up.
I mean, it's up to FFAO the rate of this match.
No. That's not an individual mod call. That's a no video evidence call.
There's even like SRL will make some kind of ruling about it as well.
Yeah.
Refresh the stream
Oh.
just to make sure I'm not. Nope. I'm smart. Well, I'm neutral. I'm not more stupid than.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard that comment and I just had to chime in with.
Well, yeah, I
with that
mean,
one, but,
I know.
On
okay,
commentary, we just call it as we see it.
Yeah, no, you
Let
guys.
someone else sort it out.
I was sorting it out for a moment. I don't care enough to do more. I'm busy. Bye bye.
Boy, still
all
driving. Thanks for
wonderful.
stopping by and clearing that up. That we're gonna have a problem, probably.
Obvious
We're still
quality
kind of
just went worse
stuck.
somehow.
Like,
Too much stuff is moving on screen. Bitrate is suffering.
something's moving somewhere. Yeah, we get everyone set up on IRC and stuff, but we don't usually be like, all right, and then make sure that if someone types your name, that it goes bing and alerts you so that you know when you're being pinged on maybe a Discord. Has someone tried on Discord?
Ooh, Lcheeseboy. It's like a bad start, and that's the thing I find the hardest about these games. When do you press gas?
Yeah, you've got a whole race to sort of figure it out on a trial basis.
Well, Aestolia is not reading anything, so I think that's it.
That's a whole.
I'm just waiting
But
for
there is sort of
FFAO
like a
to
shortcut
say,
over
"Oh,
here.
focus lost."
Oh, they tabbed in.
Well, I mean, it's just like, the classic OBS capturing something while it's not focused.
Yeah.
It's the quote.
So what does this mean? Is it a consistent problem? Like if Aestolia goes back to playing,
Yes.
it's gonna.
Yeah, it's like when you have window capture, and it's a full screen
Oh.
game. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. We've seen that before. Which is like it's an awkward problem to spot because the racer is idling in IRC while the game's being set up, and so you look at it and you're like, "Yep, running good,"
Yeah.
and then the race starts and they click in and it just freezes and you don't know until it starts. It's annoying. It's really annoying. It's a problem designed to make our lives harder with all of this.
Probably gonna lose this race against the Bills.
Yeah. Well, at this point now we can do a retime. I guess we could just look at this in-game timer, I guess, and use that for our retime. No, is it freezing? No, it wouldn't freeze. It would keep going. We just see it freeze on our end. It would be nice if they could play this game. It's a pretty fun game.
Lcheeseboy is going and still doing well. Down
Takes
to
a
the
nice
beach.
line to go down to the beach and get the speed up.
Going to the beach is always nice.
Yeah, get some sun in this dark, rainy weather. Whoa, that alleyway is not a shortcut. Oh, the subway is like a shortcut, or at least an alternate path. Which theory do you subscribe to? You're playing a racing game, the path forks. You make a decision on lap 1. Lap 2, do you go with what you know, or do you explore the other way to see if it's faster?
I think if it's like an obvious shortcut, like, oh, it's kind of like hidden away kind of in like a small alley or something, then I would go for that if I didn't do it in round 1. But if it's just like left, right, and it kind of looks the same, like Toma Runner, for example, has that a lot. Got these
Yeah.
branching paths where it's not obvious that one of them is supposed to be quicker or and harder to get, then I will use the same path again because I know what's coming.
Gotcha.
And we're moving! I hoped. Told Tolia to use game capture.
Aestolia is just driving here instead of resetting. Is this okay? Is this it's just a ghost, right? It's not. You don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to
not
win.
an issue.
Okay.
All the CPU has finished.
So a retime can happen. This is scary though. Oh wait, is this the right way? Aestolia's going backwards through this loop. That sucks.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
It goes back down to the subway station. Yeah, there's basically a square. I mean, you got the mini map on screen, so it's
Man, deja vu.
something you got to deal with. But retiming a racing game, like you don't want to, like if you are like it's about 3 minutes, but actually it was 2 minutes 50 seconds. That 10 seconds is an eternity in a racing game. You have to drive so much better to save 10 whole seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
like
accuracy there is going to be important.
oh, where are we
Good
going?
luck, FFAO.
Is Aestolia like confused about the visuals?
I wonder.
Oh, the TPC joined this race. TPC loves this game. He's gonna wreck
Yeah.
everyone in this race.
Uh-huh.
And TPC has warned me that there's gonna be a copyright warning on this stage.
Oh, yeah, I guess they would use that song. And I guess it is one of those songs that can be problematic.
But how long do you think you can listen to a song before it becomes a problem? 'Cause I wanna, like,
Hear it a little bit.
yeah, like 10 seconds?
I bet the most recognized... I mean, I don't know if the most recognizable part by humans is also the most recognizable part by robots. Just hear them go Daytona and then... then jump over to the other person's audio, I guess. Yeah, I don't have a perfect sense of what kind of player Aestolia is, or, you know, the kind of person...
Alright, that's good enough. We don't want to actually get
We don't even hear the
strikes.
Daytona? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Daytona!
Daytona!
There you go. That's the best we can do. Aestolia, I think, seems to me to be a somewhat sort of calm player. You know, maybe a little bit less likely to get thrown off by having to deal with a weird issue mid-race. But we're all human, who knows? It's definitely not ideal.
Do you think these ghosts that we're seeing can be used as kind of a clue? Like, oh, this line maybe you're gonna take, oh, there's a shortcut because the ghost is going here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, totally. Where did these ghosts come from?
I don't know. I think they come with the game.
Oh. Well, as long as they're the same for both players, I'm okay. But if it's like pulling randomly from a leaderboard or something, that's weird. My ghosts were idiots. They led me down the wrong path. One drove me off a cliff. It was like a Dark Souls message with like secret ahead.
Oh, yeah. Take plunge. Oh, where is it? Come on. Oh, yeah. Good
Couldn't
enough.
resist. Right, we're back. We're back in generic, rainy Kart level, not based on any sort of property other than Sonic, I think.
Looks a little like Sylvania? I don't know.
There is a castle, that's true.
Oh yeah. I think Castlevania is the only video game in a castle.
Yeah, it must be the only one.
Um,
Oh, I think...
so how long did Lcheeseboy take on the previous track? Because it must have
Yeah,
been somewhere around the read time.
It would have been smart to pay attention to their like lap times and race times and compare them that way to see how they're doing.
Okay, so this is obviously, oh, what's it called? Sonic 2 stage. Air Fortress.
Flying
so-
battery zone?
No, Flying Battery is Sonic. Knuckles.
Yeah.
Sonic
I
2
just
Air
assumed you
Fortress.
got it wrong, but I shouldn't have, because you're actually a pretty big classic Sonic
Yeah,
guy.
but mostly 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But actually, 3 after, like, I really like 3 after I played it. Oh yeah,
So there's like a 2-minute something. Is it like some kind of like par time or something?
Maybe it's
And then you finish 2:25.
Maybe it's the strongest ghost.
Yeah, I wonder. I would not feel super confident about myself though if I saw that it, you know, in some capacity it's possible to get a 2 flat and I got a 2:25.
I mean, TPC is gonna finish his goal while they're on, like, they still have 3 stages to go, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're probably right.
And Lcheeseboy is doing well though. Very impressed with this driving. drifting into turns, like drifting early enough.
Yeah, look how early. Find the shortcut on the ice there.
Drifting out of the drifts. Oh, it's
Yeah, that's tough.
and
Goes
then
into
there's
the
these
middle for the
boosters
boost.
that put you into the wall. That was great. It's like we're playing Monster Rancher Hop-About. Oh, hitting
Not
all
often
of
you
those.
get to reference Monster Rancher Hop-About.
That had a lot of things that put you in places you don't want to be.
Can't tell you how happy it makes my brain to hear the Diddy Kong Racing race start sound in this game. Ooh, yeah, I see what you mean now about the driving from Lcheeseboy. Just understands the way that drifts need to be used and not used in certain
that.
sections of the course.
Beautifully. That whole chicane.
Oh, bad stuff happened to Aestolia's. Got their camera clipped into a 2D bush. Whoa, nice driving from Aestolia. Took a really wide drift right onto a boost pad. It is ridiculous that the sprite while you're drifting literally goes horizontal.
It's really cool. But
It's genuinely distracting when I actually look at it.
also, Lcheeseboy is making good use of boosts. Every time Lcheeseboy kind of goes into the ball, immediately just boosts out of it.
Yeah. Spends very little time at that lower speed, having to accelerate back up to top speed.
What's the I button? For the steering wheel, we got like accelerate, brake, drift. I'm okay with all of those. And there's an I. Oh, item. What?
I guess so.
Yeah, there we go. It was pressed and we went fast.
Par time of 220. Gets a 214.
What the? Cat?
Something like, yeah.
Oh, bad start.
Kind of like the way Aestolia's been driving on Air Fortress Zone here.
Yeah, actually doing well.
This blue level with the lava is making me think we're almost to the end of the goal.
It's Hilltop Zone. I like two.
This isn't the music that plays there, though, right? This is pretty weird.
The top zone goes like dum 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 dum.
Yeah. It's way down on that Genesis bass. I'm sorry, saying we're not even done with Sneaker Cup. I wish these. Hold on. Did I post a base spin? I think I did. Huh? Sneaker Cup.
I did. Okay, so base spin says not a lot. Crossing the finish line on Pleasure Castle.
Well, I would have liked to have seen a boost there. Lcheeseboy opts to hold on to it. I think because saw the boost pad close by.
Oh, that was dangerous. Almost fell into the lava. The rector would have immediately shouted, "Cut!"
Do you think that's what he shouted when the double-decker bus fell on his driver and crushed him?
He's like face palming. Ah, this again.
Cut.
I like this crowd. So excited.
So I didn't see the time from Lcheeseboy on that track. But it was 2:14 for the one that Aestolia is on. So let's try to catch the finish of Aestolia and see how she does.
The type of thing where I think, oh, we could have like a splits on screen or something. Then also I would have to like pay attention. If I ever miss any, it's suddenly a mess. And
Whoa, yeah, see stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, that's a Doom level. You've untextured those walls so they look see-through. Yeah. Like, see-through's not the way to describe it even, because
like no render.
Yes. It just draws the background there.
You would never guess, if you haven't played Sonic Robo Blast 2, that this is a mod of a jump and run based on Doom.
Yeah, I could see the Doomness of it. I would not have thought they must have made a platforming game with it as well.
Oh, is it the same people? Never thought about that.
I don't know. I just assumed it was. I wouldn't
just assumed it wasn't, but I don't know why. I feel like yours makes more sense.
All right, let's see what we have on the timer as Aestolia comes up to the finish line here.
18.
All right, 4 seconds behind on that track.
But there again, we see how much those 10 seconds of driving in a circle really hurt.
Yeah. Really nice turn from Lcheeseboy. Not so nice turn from Aestolia. But we are looking at lap 3 versus lap 1. I'm not the kind of player who does a lot better on laps 2 and 3, Maurice. I just don't frickin' learn, you know?
I feel like in this game I would agree because everything's moving so fast. But for example, in RC to Go or something, I can see myself learning which curve was it. Treacherous?
Treacherous.
You have no chance against me.
And Metropolis.
Oh, this is the tough one. You keep falling off these buildings, I believe.
Yeah. Are we just gonna do all of them? Ring, sneaker, and water time. Okay, so probably not all of them. There's probably more cups.
I think this is the regular goal at least. Same thing we did in Racing GP, I believe. Hold on, I still have something open. Trying to steal a load.
This seems like the kind of thing where I would expect there to be like 500 tracks in this game by now.
Yeah. Now let's see, scoreboard. Here, game notes. We got Sonic Robo Blast Kart beat Ring Cup, Sneaker Cup, and Water Cup time trials. Tester's time, so Boney's time, was 33:45. And
Okay. He's probably on the fast end of things.
and the times were TPC first place, of course, 31:17, and last place was a 40. So actually, pretty close together.
Yeah, that's racing
Considering
games.
considering how good TPC is at this. So we are expecting around 35 minutes.
Aestolia could not read the level design. I think it skipped a track.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Almost skipped 2 tracks. Probably one. It's gonna be an issue, I think. Aestolia finishes the last stage. Like, oh, you missed a track. Which one? I don't know.
It's the one before Grand Metropolis.
Okay, okay. Should maybe remember that. In case it pops up. But man, oh man, look how close this is! They're on the same turn!
They're on the same turn.
They're different laps. Yeah, but still.
Just for a moment, we can enjoy this race to be as close as it might actually be, right? It's hard to say. We gotta retime.
Oh,
That's not where the course goes.
yeah. The map doesn't help all that much. It's all very zoomed out,
Yeah, and it's transparent.
and it overlaps itself.
Chance against me.
Sunbeam Paradise Zone. Sure, why not? There's one cool track which is just a really long track. And it has laps, but it's really more like sections. I think that's a cool concept.
You don't get to learn any turns for the future laps.
Yeah,
though.
it
It's
would be
all
perfect
sight
for
rating.
you.
Yeah, I guess so. Everyone else is at the same disadvantage as me.
Yeah.
You people with your brains and your memories. Come on down to my level. Wow, we're just blasting through this like boardwalk festival.
These tracks are really beautiful.
Yeah. They do a lot with the Doom engine here. It comes down mostly to textures. They've just got really good saturated colors on these textures. I can tell you the default textures in Doom are very brown and gray. It's hard to make something that looks beautiful.
Yeah, Quake.
Yeah. Quake's even worse about it, I think. Alright, Aestolia's not going back to do that skipped track.
Probably just accidentally. Was it the underwater one?
Maybe. I mean, visually, you could recreate the way that this looks in Doom pretty close. There's all of these slopes are not really a Doom thing. You would need to,
Like stairs.
you need UDMF, yeah, these would all be stairs. That would be messy. You would not have these natural slopes or whatever. But like, you can just drop the textures in.
How do these flags work? Flag poles here.
It's a 2D texture.
It's just transparent or...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a railing that you just kind of put up in the air.
Whoop. Spins out.
That's true. If you really, really wanted to go the absolutely original Doom engine, it would be too many vertices and stuff. It would crash.
Oh.
There's a level in the Plutonia experiment, which is sort of like a sanctioned fan-made pack of levels, where the id Software went to like the two best guys who made their own levels and was like, make levels and we'll release it as a game.
Yeah, Ultimate Doom.
Yeah. Well, no, Final Doom.
Oh, Final.
And they have a level there that if you look at it the wrong way, it will crash because it's too big. But they've designed the level specifically so that won't happen.
Ooh. Kind of like a weird Easter egg that you don't see in the game.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually is possible anywhere. But it really stretches the limits of what's possible. And this game is way, way, way beyond whatever that would do. So, it's difficult to say where we stand in a lot
Yeah,
of ways.
I wish this didn't happen so I could tell. Oh, that
Well.
wasn't it.
The ghost was a trap. Why did the ghost slowly creep off that ledge in the same way? Like, that was so weird and unlucky. It's like an old myth about like a Japanese yokai or something. The ghost will appear and lead you to the cliff's edge. Don't follow it.
Promise.
Against me.
Riches. Fast times.
What the heck? Omega Number was on the mailing list group for TNT, but nothing they made went in. They did textures. That's so cool. That was kind of misleading. There was this line that was like, go this way, and that's what Lcheeseboy ended up following, but it took a while to decide that that's what they wanted to follow, because the ghosts all went the other way. Someone's recreating New York City? Wow.
But they're building this new building, which I don't know. It's like a big arc.
Oh. Yeah, well, UDMF and GZ Doom and stuff can...
You're gonna be calling me a poser. I've only recently-ish played Doom. I use GZ Doom, and in GZ Doom you can jump. And I thought it was
by
normal.
default.
I thought you can just jump. So there's some levels where I jump through things that you aren't supposed to jump through.
Yeah, it's especially in a lot of fan-made levels and stuff, there's a lot of stuff that, like, the tiniest little jump will just take you from the beginning to the end of the level if you do it in the right spot.
Yeah, so didn't know. Jumping.
Yeah, no. Quake revolutionized things with a jump button.
Yeah, and the
Ooh.
good noises.
And then he pulled out a rocket launcher and combined the two. And
Yeah,
changed gaming history.
They had no idea. So from what I've seen, Aestolia is kind of keeping pace when I've seen them in the same level. So both racers been like 120, 130 behind. It's been kind of staying the same difference.
205 on this track for Lcheeseboy.
Kart. Oh, this is the one. This is the long one.
Ooh.
I think Mario Kart has a few like this too, like a ski slope. It's like this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I haven't played too much of the new Mario Kart.
I mean, I hate Mario Kart.
I say new Mario Kart. It's probably been out for like 5 years at this point.
I mean, it's been out for longer. It was on the Wii U.
Is it actually the same one?
Well, basically.
Well, in that case, I mean, Mario Kart's been out since Double Dash.
Well, they made a good game called Mario Kart 8, and then, oh, whoops, our console sucks. And then they made a good console, so they were like, oh, I mean, what a waste. So they basically just ported it, added a few maps, and called it a day.
Gotcha. Oh, that apple is solid. Aestolia just bounced off of it.
I think that's the Apple Solid thing. I was thinking the same thing. It was coming out of the tree like an obstacle. That's why I would have dodged it like an obstacle.
I would have thought the odds of this 2D sprite thing having a hitbox, a moving hitbox, I would have thought, nah.
Oh, Hectate, to clarify, by long one, I mean this map does not have laps. It will show laps, but it's like sections. You only drive each part of the map once.
206. Is that 2 seconds faster? Was it 208 from Lcheeseboy? I made a point of calling it out to remember it, and then I forgot. But I think that was actually an improvement.
Well, I mean, we can tell. I mean, maybe lost a bit time in the menu because now it's 131 seconds.
Oh, you're looking at the timer.
The race time.
Okay.
I think we're getting close. Yeah, this is Pleasure Castle. This is the last one, right?
Yeah. Oh, Lcheeseboy misses the quick start. You've had the entire race to learn what the timing is, and then on the very last one. So, Aestolia has a multiple minute retime because they had to take some time to fix their capture setup, but they also have to go back and do a whole other track, at least one other track.
Yeah, and oh, this thing looks like it's gonna kill me. Healing. But I guess it isn't. Like, I think in Doom 1 or Doom 2, which really has that one level with all the crushers.
There's one level called the Crusher
Oh,
in Doom 2. But that's a big Crusher that crushes a boss.
no. It's like a level, there's a lot of hallways. Like every Doom level.
Always with Crushers. I can't immediately picture it.
Uh,
There's one in Doom 1 that's kind of like that. Is this merry-go-round? The floor is moving on the merry-go-round?
yeah, it
Wow.
actually affects you too. You can get really stuck in there.
Lcheeseboy got at least a little bit stuck.
Alright, let's see. Aestolia. Oh, so Aestolia quits out of the race before the animation finishes.
Oh. That's a weird bit of tech that I would not want to be the thing in a racing game, because whoever does it just gets a gigantic advantage for free. Well, not for free, like it's clever to think of it, but I would prefer a race came down to who drove better more so than who gamed the system more.
Oh, Aestolia's getting stuck. Roundabout.
Here come all
it's
the
not really a
finishes now.
roundabout, is it?
Well, you're supposed to only go one way on a roundabout, but also they generally don't have deadly spikes partway around the roundabout.
Oh no, I was thinking of a carousel.
Oh, yeah.
Not really a carousel.
Merry-go-round, carousel, same
More
thing.
like a funhouse. A mystery funhouse. That's dot done for Lcheeseboy. We're gonna have to see if this is a win there.
75-19. There's a retime and an extra course, and it's gonna come down to math on the part of the moderator to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
I think overall, I just have this feeling that Lcheeseboy drove a lot better early
agree.
on in a way that, even though if Aestolia may even be doing better now, it's too much. Cannot recover.
I think so. I think Lcheeseboy drove really well, and it was evident in a way that while Aestolia drives well, it's not as evident.
Here's the final lap. There's some kind of shortcut up there, I think. Why would there be that opening? And then it would come out there?
You need the feather. Jump there.
I guess so. Is that a thing?
Probably not. I don't know. Isn't it weird how the feather was just in Super Mario Kart and never seen again?
Like in other racing games?
Well, in other Mario Kart.
I think it came back for one of the other ones. Oh, it's a spring in this game. That makes sense.
Alright, so Aestolia not done. Aestolia is not done. Has been-
FFAO has phrased the advice
Yeah.
to Aestolia in a way that tells me FFAO was listening to us on commentary and also doesn't know exactly what level got skipped.
I mean, it's okay. We only
Bad.
noticed on Grand Metropolis, so who knows?
Yeah. All right.
Where the hell is Grand Metropolis?
Where are we going? Where are we?
We're going so
There's
fast.
so many zones. Okay, keep going
Crimson
right
Court,
now.
we
I
haven't
think.
even been there.
What?
Rainbow Road.
What? EPC is helping us out here.
Misty Maze.
What is all this? Is this all like cups of
Okay.
later cups or something? Okay, Daytona, Zeppelin, Hilltop.
Misty
Misty
That's
Maze.
the underwater one.
Yeah, that's what TPC said.
No, Aestolia is confused. You have to do
Hasn't
Misty
recorded
Maze
any
zone.
times on any tracks.
Which makes
Yeah.
me think it's like because she quit out of the levels. Did you actually beat the level if quitting out doesn't save your time?
Oh, jeez. This must be like frustrating and nerve-wracking. Being like, am I losing time? This one, that one? I don't remember.
You were on it twice. Misty Maze zone.
Okay.
Misty Maze.
I think she's not able to see the chat so easily, where people are saying things.
Oh right, because full screen.
Yeah.
So do you think this time should count against Aestolia? kind of
What,
the
messing
racer's
around in
fault.
the menus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would cut it out.
Hmm.
They're already going to be losing time due to like anxiety of having to mess around with all that stuff.
I mean, this is a pretty long track too. And it's already been 4 minutes now. Since Lcheeseboy has been. I mean, this is called Misty Maze Zone, but really it seems to be based off Labyrinth.
Labyrinth Zone, yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I mean, there's so many Sonic games I haven't played. Maybe there is a Mystery Maze Zone that is harkening back to Labyrinth Zone.
It's these spikes that are in Labyrinth Zone.
I think so. I think there's spikes pretty much everywhere in that game.
TPC is making me feel good about my going free time by saying 35 is a great blind time. Whoop. Don't really have much control when you're flying. I guess it makes sense, but in other games you might have.
Yeah, there's no gliders in this game.
Oh yeah, that's what. Right, Aestolia on the final stage. Gonna be done in 3 more turns. 2, 3 with a jump. Good jump.
250? Oh.
No chance against me.
No chance against Knuckles.
What is this song? Where they always skipped this, I guess? It now has actually recorded the time.
I'm just gonna do that.
She never even like dot undone and well, that's it. I think probably this is a win for Lcheeseboy. So what FFAO is doing is actually just looking at in-game time for each track.
Oh, I like that.
And on the first couple of tracks, it's been a win for Lcheeseboy.
Oh, we could do like match mode.
A live update of the times as they come in.
Oh, I mean, yes, sure, but no, I meant something else. I meant something stupider. I meant like
Just race each other.
no, like instead of adding all the times, we play like wins. You know, like oh, Lcheeseboy wins the first map.
Oh, like yeah, like with maybe it is just called match in golf. They also
Skins?
kind of call it skins, I think.
Yeah, skins is a.
I think skins is something slightly different.
They took me. I'm listening to a song after this.
Maurice listening to illicit copyright tracks on his own.
maybe I own the game. The arcade game.
Also, that's not how it works at all. It's okay to listen to things. It's just not okay to rebroadcast them for monetary purpose.
Home taping is killing the music industry. You're here.
I'm hearing Ogre Battle music, and I'm seeing our racers joining us in the commentary booth. Hello.
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 How was Sonic Robo Blast Kart 2?
Well,
Too
frustrating for me for a couple reasons.
Yeah, I saw that going on in the race chat.
Well, that and also, like, right from the get-go, not that you saw it because of the problems I was having, but right from the get-go, I knew I was behind because the pace bin says that the start is when you press start on the Green Hill Zone. So I pressed start on my controller, which brought me back out of the menus.
Oh no.
Shoot.
And I'm going, what's going... So I was, like, lost in the menus somehow, and then apparently I missed a track somehow, probably because I was already flustered from the whole OBS thing, but whatever. It is what it is. Good game.
Yeah, good game, definitely. I mean, I didn't have quite as bad a technical time. I thought that was a pretty fun little kart racer. That would be really fun to play multiplayer with people.
Well, I mean, I think the frustrating thing is the music was going, and because the time attack level select screen is static, right? There was no way of me knowing that it wasn't actually capturing.
Right.
Yeah, well, it was capturing whenever you didn't have it as the active window. So, like, when you're in IRC and you're like, okay, I'm ready, let's go, we see it running, so the moderator's like, it looks good, it's fine. And then you click in when the match starts, and suddenly now it's not, and only now do we know.
Yeah, and when you're in a race, it says that you don't have focus, but when you're on this... Oh, it does say focus lost. Look at that. Didn't even notice that. Well, now it's actually showing it properly, but yeah, so I was just like, okay, we're good to go. I mean, it doesn't say focus lost, boom, right? And I'm not paying attention to IRC when I'm racing, right?
Yeah, well, we saw that was a couple messages went out, and it was like, she doesn't see it, uh-oh, like, and it's like, I can't fault anyone in that situation, because, like, of course you want to focus on the game that you're racing.
But I do try and keep at least an occasional cursory glance over at IRC, which it's a good thing I did.
Yeah, we were able to at least play this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad as far as kart games go.
I liked it a lot, but I have like a soft spot for the Doom engine, I guess, which is what this is sort of. I don't know if you know the lineage, but
I think I heard that at some point.
It was like a Sonic platforming game in the Doom engine, and then they took that and turned it into this kart racer, which is...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know if anyone else saw it or had the same issues, but the level that I skipped, there were walls underwater that you couldn't see through?
But
Was that just
you
me,
sort of could,
or...
but you couldn't, or... You know, that's a Doom engine quirk.
Okay.
If you leave a wall untextured, the game will draw the background in there to fill it. But it's because it is still a wall and still blocking line of sight, it creates this trippy sort of... You think it's a window, but it's not.
Wall.
It's an untextured wall is what it is, and then you smash into the corner of it. Yeah.
Yeah, last time I played a Doom, it was not on a computer branded as a Pentium, so...
So this 35-ish minute time from you, Lcheeseboy, is pretty high up there. And we've had a lot of blind races of this game. We've had it in the Racing Grand Prix and stuff, so you really did really well.
Thanks.
Well, Aestolia, we were looking at the win rates and stuff, and we noticed
I'm having technical issues. 1 second.
Okay. Hopefully I'm still coming through okay.
Yep.
You did a lot better this mystery tournament than the previous.
Yeah, the previous one, I got... I remember that in the match I got eliminated, and it was all because of the final boss of the game we were playing, some wizard game. And apparently I was ahead in all the levels, and on the final boss, I couldn't get it, and got overtaken there. So that was a bit of a bittersweet loss there. But I'm back and did much better this time.
Wonder, was that Merlin for the Game Boy Color?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said that for some reason.
It was Merlin.
That stupid dragon at the end. Yeah. We had that game back, and lots of complaints about the dragon this year as well. So.
Never played that game.
I literally lost to the dragon because I was ahead all the way through until that boss. So
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the improvement.
thank you. I appreciate that.
I hope you had fun. Do you think you'll be back next year?
Oh, probably.
That's what
I
we like
enjoy
to
this
hear.
kind of thing. It's random, and it's funny because there was a game I submitted last year and it got rejected for good reasons because I had forgotten about some things about the last level. And on one of the earlier MT emulator packs this year, it looked like it was bundled with it. But then on one of the later ones, I don't think it was. So I don't know what's going on with that. But just in case it is something that's still in the pool for this year, I'm not going to mention what it was.
Okay. Do you have something you want to plug or something?
No, it's all good.
All right.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. And enjoying the mystery tournament.
Yeah,
Good
thank
luck
you
on
so
your next
much.
match, Cheeseboy.
Thanks. Yeah, good luck in your future endeavors. Good luck, Steve, if you join again.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. And we're almost all caught up on vodcasts and everything, too. So this is what you got to look forward to.
I don't know how many podcasts ID has locked up on. Maybe I could steal a bunch.
Yeah, maybe. You'll have to work that out between the two of you. He had a lot at one point, but I think he went through a bunch, so I don't know.
Okay.
We got Lance Drago versus Polterghost. I guess that got scheduled. Polterghost just won
Oh yeah, that's true.
their match a little bit earlier. So that'll be happening tomorrow.
My match will also be tomorrow. Forgot at what time. I haven't
Ooh.
put it on the schedule because I'm lazy.
Maurice versus Brosentia. We'll fill that in. So we got 3 matches tomorrow. Do you know when-ish yours will be?
5 p.m.
Eastern time or
Inconvenient,
your
apparently.
time? Or
No, like 15 minutes before the Lance Drago match.
Oh, perfect.
Bit inconvenient, I guess.
Why 15 minutes? Why?
But
Like, this
they,
is the
they
kind of
put
thing
theirs.
Right. So like probably they put theirs at 5:15 for a reason because they can't go at 5 because they're, So I think I can't go there and be like, "Can you guys go earlier?" It's going to be like, "No, of course not," because
Wait,
of course
there's
we
a reason.
scheduled it like this on purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe you can go 15 minutes later. I don't know. That'd be helpful. We'll figure that out tomorrow. Come on back. You can follow the channel here on Twitch, Mystery Funhouse. You can join the Discord. Or just show up at these times. Get here at 5 on the dot. If
Yeah.
you potentially don't want to miss a race, get here early.
Turn on the stream forehead.
Get your seat. You have time to go get popcorn from the lobby. Come back and watch more Mystery Tournament 0017 here on Mystery Funhouse.